Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Eaglehoff, the Man Entrepreneur magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Eaglehoff's favorite son, Tom Eaglehoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get back to Open for Business on News Radio AM 1450 KMMS Bozeman. Lines are open at 522-TALK. That's 522-8255. Here he is. He's big, he's bad, and he's open for business. Tom Eaglehoff.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Open for Business. 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Saturday, June 17th, Father's Day weekend. And temperature outside is right at 59 degrees, so we're happy to have you along with us. I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week I share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And if you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're here, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? And you'll never miss another weekly podcast. You'll also find a link to my podcast on my 400-page website that 3,000 people visit each and every day at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. In today's topic, I want to talk about how the sales process really works. So nothing in this world happens until someone sells something. No commerce takes place, no exchange of goods and services for something of value. So how does this process take place so that each party goes home satisfied? That's the big question. So here's how the sales process should work for the benefit of all. Selling is a numbers game. So during my career, I worked for a company that required 75 cold calls every Monday morning. How would you like that job? My goal from those 75 calls was to find 20 people who would let me show them one of my products and allow them to use the product for a week. Of those 20 people, the national closing average, meaning the number of people who purchased the product, was 5, and the average sale was around $200. So 75 cold calls produced 20 product placements that produced 5 sales. So I could see immediately that for me to be successful at sales, I needed to change 3 things in this formula. First, I didn't want to make 75 cold calls to find the 20 placements. I wanted that number to drop to 60 or 50 to find the 20. Second, I wanted the 20 that I did find to be truly valid customers with a genuine need. And third, I wanted to make more than 5 sales out of those 20 placements. So I had to work smarter, not harder. And here's how I improved those 3 selling areas. Over time, I learned there were certain types of businesses and industries that didn't need my product, so I could walk right past those businesses. This reduced the need to make 75 calls to get the 20 placements. I was targeting a better group of businesses that did have a need for my product. The 20 people who agreed to try my products taught me that some of them were going to demand more time than others to make the sale. In order to sell the smart way, I had to concentrate my sales efforts on the 8 to 10 placements I could sell the quickest, those that had the greatest need for my products, then work on the others as time permitted. The customers that I sold taught me the features of my products which various types of qualified businesses needed. That helped me make a more successful presentation of my products because I had learned the most useful benefits of my products to my customer. And when they bought, they won and I won. So how does this process lend itself to other types of sale? Well, years ago, I worked for Circuit City Stores in San Diego. Obviously, I wasn't making 75 cold calls in a retail store. So how did the number system work in a retail environment? Well, I carried a small notebook with me, and I kept track of customers, products, cost, profit, and result of each customer interaction. At the end of the day, I might have talked to 15 customers, so I would have a record of the products I showed them, the cost, the profit to me if they bought, and how many customers made a purchase. By comparing the number of people I talked to and the number I sold, I had a closing ratio to build on. For example, if I talked to 20 people and I sold 10, I had a closing ratio of 50%. So by using the same 75-25 process I described earlier, I can now work to improve that closing ratio. But before I can improve it, I have to know what it is, and that's where the record keeping comes in. I'd like to improve the closing ratio to 60% of the customers I talk to. So to accomplish that goal, I went through the same learning process with a slightly different twist. Now I'm going to educate the customer where previously the customer was educating me. And here's how that works. Before I ever talked to a customer, I needed to do several things. First, I have to know which products are the most profitable for me to sell and the most desirable features of each one. Next, I have to make sure the products are in stock. There's nothing worse than spending half an hour selling something only to find you can't deliver it to the customer. Now, the customer is looking for a product like my XYZ product. I have a couple of those in stock that would be profitable for me to sell. So will I try to manipulate the customer into buying what I want to sell them, or is there a better way? Let's help the customer buy this puppy. Notice I didn't say sell, I said help the customer buy. And how do I do that? By asking open-ended questions before ever showing the product. Open-ended questions can't be answered with a simple yes or no. For example, what kind of features are missing from the product that you have now? The XYZ product I want to sell has 6 benefits which most customers like. I will ask the customer which benefit number 1 is being something they would like on the product. What about benefit number 2 or number 3, and so on? If the product benefits match up with the customer's needs, then I would say something like, based on what you told me, I think this XYZ product might be what you're looking for, or words to that effect. Then I would demonstrate those benefits and reinforce the needs that the customer shared with me previously. Now, if the benefits I mentioned are no importance to the customer, then it's a waste of my time and theirs to even show them the product. I want to make a sale, but I don't want to sell something that will be returned in a day or two. In order for a win-win to take place, the benefits of the product have to match up with the needs of the customer. And if you listen carefully to the customer's responses to your questions, then 1 or 2 products that fit their needs should pop out. You educate them about your product, and they educate you with any possible objections they may have to buying your product. The more benefits that are attractive to the customer, the less the price of the product becomes an issue. A purchase is suddenly not an expense, but a value. If you happen to be home right now, look around the room. Can you tell me to the penny what you paid for everything in that room? I would guess that you couldn't. Price might have been an issue at the time you bought the item, but the benefits of having that item or what the item does outweighed the cost. And it's now sitting in your room. Helping the customer buy is the strongest part of the selling process. You're finding the best possible product for their needs. So selling is a numbers game, and you can make the game more favorable to you and the customer with a little education and good listening skills. Selling is not a con game. No company on earth can survive long unless it helps someone. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you'll also find a link to my podcast on my 400-page website that 3,000 people visit each day at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.